right, back again here on the Sort of Sports Podcast, episode 158. We got two big things to talk about today. First of all, we got my review of F1, and then later in the pod, we'll talk about everything that's transpired during the NBA offseason, because we're getting near the end of free agency. It seems like all the big moves have happened, and we'll have to talk about everything that happened. But let's start off my big review of F1. I mean, you saw the title of the episode. Clearly, I was very happy with it. And it was funny, because going into this year, as you know, long-time listeners of the pod know I end the Sort of Sporties, my annual end-of-the-year movie and television and now music awards show. Probably the least sport thing we do, but it's the Sort of Sporties, even though really not sports at all. But I end it with my most anticipated films of the year. I had 13 listed this year, and I ranked F1 13th for my most anticipated movies this year. One of those movies is not even coming out this year now. It was the Kendrick Lamar and South Park creators movie. By May, it was my second most anticipated movie of the summer. I was talking to my girlfriend. We were discussing movies we were excited to go see together, and I was like, all right, so all the summer movies, rank what you're most excited for. And we both had Superman first, F1 second, and then I forget what she had third. I don't know if she had Jurassic World third or something else. I forget what she put third. I had Fantastic Four third, I believe. I think How to Train Your Dragon was third for her. Yeah. Which, speaking of, if we're going to look at the draft, for the box office draft RJ and I did, I feel like I'm doing pretty hot because not only did I draft F1, which is doing very well, I also had How to Train Your Dragon and Jurassic World Rebirth were both doing very well. Jurassic World Rebirth, I think, just broke the record for the 4th of July box office. So that's pretty crazy. And now all I have left is Superman and Weapons. And guys, we'll talk about Superman later, but you know, I'm thinking $1 billion. I'm just saying. RJ's team, on the other hand, we have Lilo and Stitch, Fantastic Four First Steps, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, Ballerina, and Nobody 2. I think those top three are still going to hold out well for him. The Final Reckoning did well. Lilo and Stitch did very well. Fantastic Four, I'm sure is going to do well. Will it crack $1 billion? We'll see. But Ballerina, not an incredible performance, and I don't expect Nobody 2 to be a big hit anyways. And I think he knew that when he drafted it. And his bomb was F1. So he missed on his bomb. I think my bomb was Karate Kid Legends, and I think it actually did relatively okay. I actually don't know why I didn't just take Mathregan 2.0 to be my bomb. Probably should have done that, but it's whatever. There is a chance, depending on how everything turns out, that between Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, How to Train Your Dragon, and F1, I got the 4 highest grossing movies of the summer, which would be a massive win. But I don't expect it to be that way. I think Lilo and Stitch is currently on pace to be bigger than at least one of those, and I expect Fantastic Four First Steps to also be bigger than at least one of those. But yeah, let's actually talk about F1 itself. So I was stoked to see it. Did see it a weekend later than release. So I saw 4th of July weekend, and so just this past weekend. And I hope everybody had a good 4th of July, obviously. And Joseph Kosinski, man, he did it again. There's something about Kosinski. For those you don't realize, the director Joseph Kosinski of F1 is the same guy who directed Top Gun Maverick. Before that, he directed Oblivion, the movie Only the Brave, which there was a friend of mine years ago who was like, Ryan, I know you're a big movie guy. My favorite movie of the last few years, Only the Brave. It's excellent. And I was like, okay. And I looked it up and I was like, I've never heard of this. I'm sure it's pretty good, but I'm not a huge war movie guy. There are a lot of war movies, and I like some of them that I've seen. I think Dunkirk is excellent, and I think Apocalypse Now is also excellent. Probably Dunkirk, my favorite war movie, I guess, unless you count Inglourious Bastards, because that would be my favorite. But Inglourious Bastards, I guess it is a war movie. Yeah, So Glorious Bastards. That's my favorite. But Dunkirk's probably right behind it. It's actually close. I have to think about that one. But anyways, I'm not a massive war movie guy. Like, there's a lot of movies that are big war movies that I have not watched. Like Saving Private Ryan. I'm a big Spielberg guy. Have not seen Saving Private Ryan. Platoon, never watched. What else am I forgetting? 1917. Like, I have it on Blu-ray. Have not watched it yet. But then, like, Only the Brave is the one that they threw out there that Kosinski directed. And then, like, Hacksaw Ridge was big when I was younger. Like, I remember, like, they would show that in, like, my school. It was, like, one of the teachers really liked it and, like, used it. I think it was, like, FFA. I watched that. Yeah. I think that's Andrew Garfield, right? Anyways, war movies, honestly, I just don't, like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they all kind of are similar. I think that's why I like Inglourious Bastards and Dunkirk so much, is because they're not. They're very different. But a lot of them I feel like are very similar. Like, my mom watched The Covenant, and I'm a big Guy Ritchie fan. I still gotta watch Fountain of Youth. I have like a free trial for like 3 months with Apple TV Plus, and I'm waiting till like August, and I'm gonna redeem that like right when I go back to school. And so then I'm gonna be able to watch like Severance season 2 because I haven't watched that yet. I know. Severance season 2 because I loved Severance season 1, but I like to have a bit of time between the seasons, you know. Severance season 2, Fountain of Youth, and then my one friend really wants me to watch that Stick show with Owen Wilson, so I might have to watch that too. But that'll be what I do with that. So when I'm talking about that stuff on the pod, that's how you know, is I got that free trial, and I'm like, it expires like August 22nd, so I'm gonna redeem it like a week before, and then get ready to roll. But yeah, war movies. There's a decent amount out there. I'm just like, I feel like they all feel similar. But the reason I brought up Guy Ritchie was The Covenant. My mom really liked that movie, and yeah, I still gotta see Fountain of Youth. But man, okay. Oh, Kosinski also directed Tron Legacy, which is a movie I've never watched. I've never seen the original Tron or Tron Legacy, and it's funny because I was sitting there in the theater, and I've now seen that Tron Ares trailer twice in the theater. And both times I'm like, this looks cool, but I might show up to that, and it's just total bullshit, and it's dumb. Because it feels like the way it's presented is it's like a big deal. And it's got the music, it's like, and there's like, you know what I mean? It's doing all that crazy Nine Inch Nails music they do for it. And I'm like, oh, this is sweet. And it's got all these shots like it's like The Matrix. And because I mean, it's not that similar to Matrix, but doing like slow-mo, you know, shit. And it's real techie looking. And it kind of looks like Cyberpunk 2077 a little bit to me. And I'm aware of Tron Legacy. I mean, that came out when I was younger. And I remember like the marketing for it. It's just funny. I'm like, does Disney think this is going to be a big hit? Because they're presenting it like it's a big deal. And I gotta give them credit. Like, presentation is a lot of it. Like, me who is not interested in that movie and not planning on seeing it, I was like, it does look pretty cool. But it's like, how many people are going to roll up to Tron Ares? Also, shitty title. Tron Ares. Like, I think Tron Legacy is a pretty decent title. It's a Legacy sequel. You called it Legacy. Ares. Like, I know who Ares is. I understand the Greek god of war. I get it. But, like, really? Like, that was the best option? What's the Roman name for Ares? Is he Mars? I think it's Mars. Yeah. Tron Mars? Well, that would be very confusing. Because then people would just think it's on Mars. Like, if it's Jupiter, I don't think people think that, but the fact, like, Mars is like the other planet. Because it's the next, you know what I mean? Like, we literally have The Martian with Matt Damon. Oh, and that new Project Hail Mary movie. I haven't watched that trailer yet, but I've heard good things. Ryan Gosling. That might be fun next March. Yeah, but I watched that trailer and I was like, who is this for, I guess? Because I'm sure there are Tron Legacy and original Tron fans that are pumped. But is the general public going to roll up to see Tron Ares? And the big star of the film is the one and only Jared Leto, also known as box office poison. So I'm just like, I don't know. I would be surprised if this movie does well. But hey, maybe it's one of those situations where it gets incredible reviews and there's a lot of positive buzz, good word of mouth. Everybody's like, if you're not seeing Tron Ares, what are you doing? And then people are like, hell, I guess I'll go see it. Like, it could have one of those effects. We'll see. But that's, I'm sure there's somebody out there who is just absolutely stoked for Tron Ares. And that's like their Superman this year. Good for you, whoever you are. I'm happy that you're getting a new one. The music will definitely be good, though. Like, the Nine Inch Nails music looks great. So, sounds great, I should say. I couldn't see it. But as far as music coming out this fall, Running Man's what I'm pumped for. Glenn Powell, my guy. Come on. But okay. One more thing. I know we were supposed to be talking about F1. I'm getting way off topic. I have a lot of things. A lot of news been going around, I guess. Sure. I read that there's apparently, like, somebody compared the new Avatar to James Cameron's Mad Max Fury Road. Like, he said, like, the color palette is incredible. And I don't know what the hell that means. Like, I mean, I can imagine that he just means it's, like, going to be, like, orange and bright. I mean, Way of Water was very blue. And this one's Fire and Ash. I don't know. It'd be really funny if, like, Fire and Ash was just, like, fucking incredible. Like, it was just insane. And it was like, oh. It's like the first Avatar, I think, is pretty alright. I think the second one's really fun. But I watched it one time in theaters, and I might watch it one other time to prepare for the third one. And it would be hilarious if the third one is just like a masterpiece. Like they just keep getting better, and it's like, whoa, how good's the fourth one gonna be? That'd be funny. I used to be like anti these Avatar movies because I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, they show up every year. Not every year, sorry. They show up, make some of the most money of all time, and then I never hear anyone talk about them again. Like, everyone I know went and saw that one, but no one talks about how they went and saw it. It's the weirdest phenomenon I've ever seen. And it has, like, no presence, like, in pop culture. Like, no one is making, like, an Avatar reference. But yet, like, as a franchise, it's grossed, like, it's in the top, I think, like, 20 or top 25. It might be even top 10, like, highest grossing franchises of all time, and it's only 2 movies. Like, when it's all said and done, if they stay on this pace, the Avatar films are going to make more money all time than Star Wars. Right? Isn't that math? Isn't that how math works? Like, if each one makes, like, 2.5 billion, I think it would all add up to more than Star Wars. It's 5 movies, right? Even though Star Wars is 9 movies? No, I guess I take that back. There's no way. There's no way, because those prequels did well. There's no way. I had to think about it. I was like, there's no way in hell that's going to do as well as this is the 9 Star Wars movies. I wonder if it could beat Harry Potter at the box office. You know what? While we're sitting here, I'm just going to look up Star Wars franchise box office. Okay? Oh, never mind. It will not be beating this. Because in fact, this number is correct. Oh, it just says over 10 billion. That's doable. That's scary. Okay. Let's look up total Harry Potter movies box office. Let's look at this one. 7.7 billion. All right, so it's very doable to beat the 8 Harry Potter movies with 5 Avatar movies with like a fraction of the cultural significance. It's so wild. It's just so wild. But yeah, I hope Fire and Ash is excellent. I'm blown away. That'd be really funny. But all right, back to F1. So Kosinski, what he seems to understand as a director is how to make movies that you sit up in your chair. Like, I'm watching this in the theaters. No, I watched it in one theater. I'm watching it in the theater, and there's a point where they're about to do a race, the music sets in, and I kind of leaned forward and locked in. Like that meme where it's like the guy like sits forward. That was me. Like, I did that because I was like, what are we doing here? Like, I was that into it. And he seems to understand that and how to make you like just locked into a movie. And I also want to say he's really good at, and this movie feels a lot like Top Gun Maverick, in where they both are a bit over dramatic, but you don't like think about it at all. And what I mean by that is there's a scene where Brad Pitt's character is talking to Javier Bardem, and they're having a bit of an argument, and Brad Pitt's like, all I ever have done is race. I want to go out there and race. And Javier Bardem's like, well, I can't let you do that. What if you get killed? And he's like, if I die out there on the track, that's the last thing I do. I take that life. I've lived a good one. And like in 95% of movies, that is like a bonkers line. And it's completely overdramatic. But in this, you're like, yes, you let him race. Like that's, I don't know how Kosinski pulls it off, but he's able to let his movies be a bit melodramatic, and it's got a retro feel to it that way. It feels like an 80s movie, kind of like it. That's how it felt like Top Gun Maverick. It's like they write it like it's an 80s movie, or like an early 90s movie, or just a little over dramatic. Point Break also has this writing, even though it's 90s, but I'm saying it's also like this, and I love it. Like, I think it's so entertaining, and I think it's so fun, and I think it's really well done, and I think it's fun. I am not, for what it's worth, I'm not an F1 guy. I know Lewis Hamilton, and I know that, the guy who wins all the time now, the Max Verstappen, whatever. They're both in this. I recognize them. Hamilton helped produce the film. But that's really all I know. I understand that they travel around. I understand the format. I didn't know it was teams until this. I guess format, what I understood is that how like they travel to like locations. There's not really like it's not like it's a week by week. We're in this random location. Like you go to huge places. But I guess another way to review it is the movie is 2.5 hours long, and it felt like an hour 50. And I also like would have taken an extra 15 minutes. No exaggeration. Like I was that into it. I think it's a real credit to Kosinski and his team. And I was watching it and I was like, this is so good that I'm so excited for Superman. Like there's hardly anybody on this planet I think it's more excited for Superman than me. I was like, shit. I was already pumped for Superman, but now the bar has been stepped up. Because F1, the movie, which I think is fun that they added that subtitle, is so far the best movie I've watched in 2025. As far as 2025 releases by a mile, much better than Materialists. Is it the best movie I watched in 2025, period? I'm looking through. I mean, like, I watched Tropic Thunder this year, Superman the movie, Rope, First Mission Impossible, that one's good. Looking at other things I've watched. Captain America Winter Soldier's pretty damn good. It's on here. But I'm saying it is up there with those movies. Like that's a hard argument for me. Like that's how much I like this. Like this is definitively going to be going in the Hall of Fame later this year. Like F1 was incredible, and F1 was gas. Like it was basically everything I wanted it to be and more. Like I said, second most anticipated movie this summer. I just wanted Top Gun with cars, and Kosinski was like, "You want Top Gun with cars, baby? Let me give it to you," and it was incredible. And like I said, I'm not a huge F1 guy. I don't really know that much. So maybe if you're a big F1 person, the movie's not as good. But if you're looking for an old school summer blockbuster, this is your movie. Like it was everything you'd want in like an old school blockbuster. It feels like an 80s blockbuster that got made today. Like the script genuinely feels like that in all the right ways, and a bit like the bit of a corny melodramatic way. But I liked that corny melodrama. I don't want every movie like that, but Kaczynski does such a good job with that. Like, the music's coming in, it's very dramatic, and you're like, yes, come on. It's just like watching like an 80s movie, and I love that. So Kaczynski also does a really interesting thing with his movies, at least the two I've watched, which are Top Gun Maverick and this. They both open with what the movie is. And what I mean by that is Top Gun Maverick opens with Ed Harris showing up for like 5 minutes, and it's like, hey, you came here to watch planes be flown? Watch this shit. And Tom Cruise, gets in that like crazy plane that he like tries to take up into like space or whatever. You know what I'm talking about at the beginning when he hits like the 10G level and he's like, oh, and all that. Maybe it's 13. I forget, but it's like an insane amount of pressure on him. And then he passes out and he lands in the field and walks in. Like, that scene, big picture, does not really matter in the context of the film. Like, you could probably start with him just going back to Top Gun school. But it's way more fun, and it gets your audience way more into the movie if you start it that way. F1 does the same thing. It starts with a race. And so you're locked in this, and like Shea Wiggum's in it randomly for like 5 minutes, just like Ed Harris was randomly in Top Gun Maverick. So it starts with a race for like the opening 5-10 minutes, and then it starts the rest of the movie. And it's like, do we need that? Technically, probably no. But it makes it way better because from the get-go, it's like, hey, you came here for races, watch this shit. And it's an awesome race. I think it's awesome to watch. There's fireworks going off. It's such a fun scene. And he starts that to be like, yeah. You guys know that song? It's like, baby, this is what you came for. That's like Joseph Kosinski's MO when it comes to movies. It's like his thesis. It's how he likes to open them, with baby, this is what you came for. And it's also fun because Joseph Kosinski clearly thinks narratives about like old guys who have dedicated their life to something. What did they have left when that part of their life is coming to an end? Like, how can they say goodbye to that? How do they come to terms with that? Because Top Gun Maverick is about that, and so is F1. And so I'm like, okay, his next movie is Miami Vice. It's going to be a Miami Vice reboot. And initially, I thought, okay, maybe Damson Idris, who is the co-lead in this, could be Tubbs, and then my guy Glenn Powell could be Crockett, right? But now, being as like how interested he is in the dynamic of old-timer, young-timer, I feel like Crockett's going to be somebody old. I mean, maybe Tubbs is somebody old. Definitely could be, but I could just see him doing, like, he could literally do Brad Pitt and Damson Idris again and just make him Crockett and Tubbs. I mean, you could. But I think he really seems to find that interesting in a movie where it's, let's explore, I don't want to say the elderly, but I mean, like, let's explore, like, what does life post 50s look like when you've been dedicated and spent your life on a certain thing. And the dude is not 50. Kosinski's in his 40s. So it's interesting how much he cares about this idea when he's not even at that point in his life yet. So it's really, really interesting, like, themes, I think. It's not a theme you see a lot, especially in, like, big blockbuster movies. I think big blockbusters, for the longest time, were really more focused on the youth. And I still, to this day, would say they are, right? And, most blockbusters you look at this summer, the leads are going to be in their 30s or maybe 40s, maybe. But for this, Brad Pitt, he's in his 60s. It's like, okay, let's run it. And obviously Tom Cruise in his 60s. And I think it's interesting stuff to look at inside of a movie this large. So yeah, it was excellent. Super excited for his Miami Vice. Like, cannot wait. He's working on another film with Apple, which is like a UFO related movie, which we already have a UFO related movie coming out next year with Steven Spielberg's new movie, which I'm sure is going to be magnifique. Gosh, we are in such a good space with the movies because we're out of the, like, 2024 I think was a bit sparse because we're coming out of the writer's strike. Now we're coming and getting all these movies that were post-writer's strike. So writers have a little more time to, you know what I mean, Like, they come back, they got what they wanted, at least hopefully. I mean, I haven't looked into that a ton. But, I mean, they came off strike, so I'd like to believe the writers got most of what they wanted. And so they come back and they start writing these new movies, and these directors are working these new ideas. And it's just like, this year, a lot of good stuff so far. Like, a lot of good stuff. And we still have Superman this weekend and Fantastic Four. And who knows, maybe that I Know What You Did Last Summer is going to be fun. The Naked Gun movie, you guys, it looks good. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Naked Gun movie looks good. Like, the legacy reboot Naked Gun movie looks really fun. Like, the gags in the trailer are hilarious. Like, it's really funny. And it's got, like, the comedy style of, like, that era of comedy. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, they're just making, like, kind of an old school, like, comedy for the modern audience. And I'm pumped. I feel like I have to go see it. It looks great. So, yeah, the new Naked Gun movie, it looks great. So I'm just surprised. I didn't think I'd be sitting here telling you this, but if you haven't seen the trailer for the new Naked Gun movie, I would check it out. It looks good. I will say, I remember I did a pod a couple weeks back, and I said, we're doing a lot of interesting stuff, even though we don't have the most, like, fully original movies. We're using these big franchises to make something new and interesting. And then I haven't heard good things about Jurassic World Rebirth. So I had high expectations for that. Let's see if I'm surprised and I go see it. But so far I have not heard great things. But it's so funny with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, because it does not matter how bad the movie is, it will make a shitload of money. Because the first movie is one of the best movies of all time. Like, Steven Spielberg cooked so hard, and Michael Crichton's idea, like the concept of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, is so interesting that it has built one of cinema's most profitable franchises off, like, one incredible movie and another movie that's pretty good. And I think Jurassic World, I would say, is pretty good, maybe great. But Park is, like, a masterpiece. And then, like, The Lost World, I think, is alright. I've never even seen 3. And then all the other Jurassic Worlds are bad. Like, the Dominion is awful. Like, one of the worst, if not the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters. I'm sure Rebirth is better than that. But haven't heard the best things about it. We'll have to see. I'll have to see what I think when I go see it. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. And I'll be like, oh, they're wrong. This is good. I hope that's the case. But, yeah, next year we're going to be eating good, because it's like we get that Steven Spielberg UFO movie, The Odyssey. Just part of the big reason I want to go see the Jurassic World movie is because they have the trailer for The Odyssey before it, which is like, come on. So The Odyssey comes out next year. What else? Is there anything else next year that I'm forgetting? I mean, there's Supergirl. That's exciting. Doomsday. It comes out in December, though. That's not like summer 2026. I guess I should look. I'm curious. I mean, I'm usually one to live in the moment, but I'm just trying to point out that not only is this a great summer, but it looks like next summer is going to be fun, too. Oh, yeah, that's when that Masters of the Universe movie we've been hearing about for years is going to come out. That'll be interesting. Yeah, there's the Spielberg movie. That's what I'm really pumped for. Oh, yeah, they're doing the new Scary Movie. Supergirl, yep. Shiver? What is this? Interesting. I thought this was based off the book that's like werewolves. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, like the book series Shiver, Linger. I forget what the last one's called. Shiver, Linger. Was it Forever? I don't think it was Forever. I forget. But oh boy, next summer live action Moana comes out. Yay! Paw Patrol 3. I thought there was only one movie. There's 2 movies? The Mighty movie. I didn't even know that existed. Wow. Oh, yep, Spider-Man comes out next year too. Interesting. I'm going to be really honest. Like, potentially my most anticipated next year is the Clayface movie. I think that's going to be really interesting. Like, I'm really intrigued by it. Like, I'm like, what is this going to be? So I'm pumped about that. But all right, yeah, but it's just been a really good summer for movies so far. I hope we get to continue it with Superman this weekend, and then Fantastic Four in 2 weeks after that. And yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot. We're getting some good stuff right now. So, oh, and 2026 we also get Dune Part 2. Not Part 2. Gosh, Dune Messiah. So I'm excited for that too. Which apparently Chalamet's shaving his head for that, so that's gonna be crazy. That's got to be the one that wins all the Oscars, right? Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. The Oscars are going to have to pick between Dune or The Odyssey. That'll be intriguing, but I guess I should focus on the here and now, because right now we also have some really good stuff. So I don't want to look ahead too much. We currently have good movies coming out right now. This is the last podcast I will record before seeing Superman, which is a crazy thought to have. I mean, this has been... Gosh, I remember like when it was first announced. I remember watching, like I remember being in my, like it was at my locker at high school, like looking at the James Gunn announcement, because I went to the bathroom and I pulled out my phone while I'm in the bathroom because I knew they had done the announcement, and I like walked over to my locker to grab something, and I pulled, and like I'm literally watching the James Gunn announcement video while getting something out of my bag. And then like I walk back to class, close the video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he just announced a new Superman movie. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It was Superman Legacy was the title, and I'm really glad they dropped Legacy, because while I thought that was a cool title, I think it would have been confusing, especially the start of a new universe, to have the first one be, you know what I mean? It just, Superman is much cleaner. Plus, there's technically never been a movie called Superman, because Superman the movie is the title of the 1978 one. And I remember when David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan were announced for the cast. That was 2 years ago now, like over 2 years ago. Like I remember how pumped I was. I remember watching Nando V Movies casting videos on who everyone should be. I remember I was so stoked when Nicholas Hoult got announced to be Lex Luthor, and I remember when that first trailer dropped. Like I remember I've been so locked into all this, and you know, it's really fun, it's really rare to have something that you're just so excited for, and then it meets your expectation. I really think this is going to be it, and that's a special feeling, because, you know, you're always going to have your different interests and things you're excited for, right? Like I'm very excited to get College Football 26. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. I still haven't gotten the Indiana Jones video game on the PS5. I know. I was planning on getting it at some point in the summer. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm going to get that soon. I'm excited for those things. Like, I'm very much looking forward to them. But to have something that's like this is like, I followed this for the whole production cycle. I've been stoked the whole way and talked to people about it. This is a very special thing, and it's hard to have something like this for a decent amount of time. You know, like it's because I don't think it's the same as like when the sequel comes out, it won't be the same because it won't be wholly new. Like how often is it you get so excited for something that is new? And what I mean by that is, obviously I know the character of Superman, and I obviously know, like I have a concept of what the film's going to look like because it's Superman, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor. Like, you know how those characters are going to play. But I'm saying, like, the excitement for Endgame was awesome, but it was with all the reason you were so excited because you had all this behind you leading into it. Whereas this is something fully new, and I'm just so excited to see what new is going to be brought to the table. I'm not looking for a conclusion. That's what's interesting about it. Is like a lot of times when you're excited for something, it's because you're excited for that conclusion, right? Like people were very excited, me included, for Dune Messiah because we're going to be the conclusion to the Dune saga, right? Or at least hopefully, because without Villeneuve, it's just not going to be the same. But I think it's even more fun when you can be over the moon excited about something you've actually never had before. Like something fully new, well, not fully new, but I'm saying something new, a new story, a new take, and you're really excited for it. So it's like, that's rare, right? I think Fantastic Four, like if Superman didn't exist this year, I think I'd be super pumped for Fantastic Four. More excited than I was for F1? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I would put more stock in Fantastic Four if Superman didn't exist this year. But as it stands, like, that's what was so fun about the Batman. Why I got so excited for that is because I love Batman and that character, and I was interested to see this new take, and it blew me away. And I'm hoping I get the same thing out of the Superman movie. And I don't really know the next time I'll be this excited for a movie. It will be. It will, whatever, when Tarantino announces his 10th film, that will probably be it. That will probably be the next big one. That's my best guess. Or potentially if DC announces like some movie that I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what I want. Like you are making a Green Arrow movie? Intriguing. Yeah, that would be. New Wonder Woman movie? I'm in. I do think we got to get more Wonder Woman stuff here in the DCU. What are we doing? Yeah, hopefully that made sense. It was funny because G's dad said to me the other day, he's like, so what's this new Superman movie about? And I looked at him and I was like, I mean, he's going to fight like a kaiju. And he was like, that's it? And I was like, and it's funny because they've done a really good job kind of keeping the plot under wraps. Like, I think he's fighting Lex Luthor, I'm assuming. Is he the definitive main villain? Probably. But like I guess I'm going to put it to you like this. When the Batman came out, they also did a good job in those trailers, not really showing us too much. But I could still say to people, yeah, Batman's got to track down the Riddler and the Penguins, they're messing it up. Like, that would be what I would have said based off those trailers. For this, I'm like, like Ultraman, it looks like Ultraman's there, but I don't really know what his connection is to the story. And like Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific are there. And I don't know if they like Superman or not, but like Lex Luthor's there, and so like obviously he's messing things up. And Clark's in love with Lois. You get what I'm saying here? Like, I'm really happy about the fact we don't know that much. And a lot of the early praise has come from the fact we haven't been shown too much of the movie. And that makes me very happy. I'm really glad I haven't seen that much of it because I'm so excited. So, all right, that is the last I will talk about Superman before the next pod. And the next pod will be my review of Superman. The most excited I've been for a movie in my entire life. I'll be seeing it Friday night. I can't wait. I'm over the moon. This is like what it's all been leading towards. Apparently July 25 is just my month because not only am I getting Superman, but my entire dream for years, everybody was like, what's the one, like I don't talk about video games that much on the pod, but this is a quick piece. Everybody was like, people would talk to me about like video games, and they'd be like, what's like, if you could have any game made, you know, what would you want from Nintendo? Like out of all their franchises, because Nintendo has a decent amount of dormant franchises, and I was like, I just want a new 3D Donkey Kong. I want a new 3D platformer Donkey Kong, you know, given the time and effort of a Mario 3D platformer. Because it could be incredible. And then they did it. And I've been saying that probably since like 2019 range. Around the time I started saying that, oddly enough, is when those rumors kind of started up. And I was like, no, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. And then they did it. And so the fact that I'm getting a Superman movie that is going to be a masterpiece, hopefully, and Donkey Kong 3D platform in the same month, it's like, this is a big peak for me. I now, what do I most want next from Nintendo? A new Wario Land, 2D or 3D platformer, I don't care. 2D would probably be more, obviously, Wario Land-ish. If you did a 3D platformer with Wario, you have to think of a whole new thing. So I guess I want a Wario Land, like a Wario Land, a new Wario Land game. And then for movies, I guess I'd like to see DC do something with Wonder Woman. I really would. I mean, Green Arrow would be cool too. Yeah. I don't know what to think on that one. But, I mean, really the big piece for probably next superhero movie I'll be stoked for is whenever they do the new X-Men. That's, yeah. All right, we've talked about this a while, which I always seem to talk about. I mean, there's one thing I can talk about randomly on a podcast for a while. It's Superman and the Panthers. And one of those will never go away. And, I'd like to believe the Panthers will never go. I'm just kidding. Clearly, it's the Panthers that I'll always be talking about. But, yeah, Superman, it's finally arrived, It's finally arrived. But, all right, NBA offseason review. I loved the Denver Nuggets offseason. They got Cam Johnson. Sorry, wrong Brooklyn net. They got Cam Johnson for an unprotected, 2031 first, and MPJ. That's a great deal. I actually don't know what the Nets were doing. Because Cam Johnson was your best asset, and you essentially traded him away for a pick. Because, you don't really need Michael Porter Jr. I don't know how the Nets benefit from having Michael Porter Jr., so I just don't understand this move for the Nets at all. But for the Nuggets, I love it. I mean, everybody gets a Jokic boost. Everybody plays better with Jokic, and Cam Johnson's already good, and I already see him fitting with Jokic. And I'm like, are they going to run Gordon at the 3, Cam Johnson at the 4, Jokic at the 5? Because it's a big lineup. A lot of rebounding there. And I actually think it could work. I actually think there's a way to space that. And I mean, if there's anybody who can figure out the spacing, it's Nikola Jokic. And if you're running Murray at the 1, we're doing Brown at the 2, and then Gordon, Johnson, Jokic, it's a really interesting lineup. If you want to get smaller, you take out Johnson, put Gordon at the 4, and put in Brucey Brown at the 3. This is a fun team. I like that setup. I think they're going to probably have a 7 to 8 man rotation. There's not a ton of depth, but it's more depth than last year, I can tell you that. And I love the fact they brought Bruce Brown back. I loved that. And I just think after this offseason, the Nuggets have... this might be crazy, but to me, if you're looking at the NBA and you're saying who can be a threat to OKC in the West, I think it has to be the Rockets and the Nuggets. I think the only other team you could talk me into is the Timberwolves. But other than the Rockets and Nuggets and maybe the Timberwolves, I just don't see it for anybody else. I think the Lakers are in a weird spot right now because it's getting weird with LeBron, where it's does he want to be there? Why is he being cryptic? That's odd, and I don't think the Lakers really got better. I don't really think they needed to have a big offseason. I don't think they did in the way a lot of people expected them to. I don't think DeAndre Ayton is a great get for them. I would be surprised. JJ Redick would have to do some crazy stuff to get that team to be a contender. And I just don't see it as it is. Yes, they have Luka and LeBron, but I don't think the rest of the team... I mean, Reeves is great too, I should state. Reeves is awesome. But I think everybody, including Lakers fans, that kind of thought Reeves would be moved away to get a quality center. And that just didn't happen. And now they have DeAndre Ayton, who I would be surprised if we saw 2021 DeAndre Ayton ever again. I mean, this will be 5 seasons removed from that. So, I like what the Nuggets did. Obviously, the Rockets, I think, had the best offseason out of any NBA team. And then the Rockets went and got Dorian Finney-Smith, too. They had Dorian Finney-Smith and Clint Capella. Because why not, right? And it's also hey, if we get to the deadline, there's somebody available we want to get, boom, here are the assets we move off of. I love what the Rockets did. I mean, they got rid of Cam Whitmore. I don't think it's a massive loss for them. And they replaced him with Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith on this day is a better player than Cam Whitmore. Maybe in 4 to 5 years, is he? Who knows? But on this day, he is. And I don't know why it would matter in 4 to 5 years. Neither of them will probably be on the team they're on currently in 4 to 5 years, so it doesn't matter. It's more 2 years would be the argument. But the Rockets getting Dorian Finney-Smith was big, I think. Not that he's a team changer, but I'm not only does that hurt the Lakers because he was a quality guy for them, that's just a guy you like to have on your team. He does, He does. He's the type of guy every team would like to have, right? And so I liked them getting him, and I was like, damn, the Rockets just had the best offseason in the NBA. And so I would say the Rockets would be my top pick to beat the Thunder in the West, and then I'd say the Nuggets are the other one. I mean, the Nuggets took them to 7 games with a shittier team. I think the team this year should be better. I'm really happy with what the Nuggets did this offseason, and I'm looking forward to the Nuggets next year. You want to talk about a team that had a weird offseason was Milwaukee Bucks, because I don't really understand the thought process behind going and getting Miles Turner. I don't really see the way he fits with Giannis. I mean, those crazy bank-in threes were an outlier. He doesn't do that much. Like, that was weird that was happening. Hopefully I didn't watch that and think, oh, this is the guy we're getting, because it's not. That's not the guy. Like, I would be shocked if that's just how Miles Turner plays now. And I think it's actually he was one of those guys I always thought, like, was most valuable to the team he was on. Where it was like, the Pacers value him more than any other team in the league values him. And then he left for the Bucks. So, I think, can the Pacers retool? I'm sure of it. One of the teams of the Celtics and Pacers will overperform this year and still make the playoffs, regardless of the fact their star player's out. The other one will have a bad season and get a good draft pick. And maybe the Pacers are going to be the one that underperforms and gets a good draft pick, and maybe can replace Miles Turner in the draft. But I don't really see a way that this Bucks team is very good next year. I don't think Turner's a big get. I don't really like their roster. I mean, they waived Damian Lillard, and so they just have so much money that's just like waived and spread over the years, over future now, and I guess the thought is they're just doing everything in their power to keep Giannis. And I understand, small market team, I mean, the second best player in the NBA in my books, you got to do everything in your power to keep him there. I get it. But is Miles Turner really the move? Like, I guess it was the only move they had. It's just not a great move, I think, in my mind. So, the Knicks actually got better. I mean, they got Yabusele, and I think he'll fit in there nicely. Like, I like what the Knicks did. The Knicks didn't do anything crazy, but I liked that move. I was like, good for the Knicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. No one is talking about the fact that John Collins went to the Clippers. Like, John Collins is off the jet. No one seems to care. But John Collins on the Clippers now, in case you weren't aware. I felt like I haven't heard this talked about at all. I don't think it's a big move for either team, but it is a move that happened. John Collins now on the Clippers. But really the big team I wanted to talk about, other than the Nuggets and Rockets that I liked what they did, is the Hawks. The Hawks got Alexander Walker, and could the Hawks be good next year? I'm not talking like a top team in the East, but could they make the playoffs? I think so. I mean, the East is not very strong. You look at the East, it's going to be the Cavs, the Magic, the Pistons, the Knicks. Those are like the 4 I can tell you are probably going to be in the playoffs, right? Then you got 2 other spots. So you got to pick between the Celtics, the Pacers, the Raptors, the Hawks. Who else? Is that it? I mean, the Heat, right? Are the Hawks better than the Celtics? Maybe. Who knows? Depends on how poorly the Celtics play with their, kind of wishy-washy roster. I think the Hawks are probably better than the Pacers next year. Are the Hawks better than the Raptors? I think so. Like, could the Hawks be the 6th seed? Maybe. Like, genuinely maybe. And so, good for the Hawks. It all kind of depends on Trae Young. If Trae Young is legitimately a superstar for them, then, yeah, maybe this team can be something. If Trae Young kind of flounders and doesn't rise to the occasion, then I think that kind of kills that hype. But I do think there's a path for them, and I think that's really fun that there's potentially a path for the Atlanta Hawks to be a good team. So I think that's pretty cool. But I thought I would talk a lot more about the NBA offseason, and I was a little too efficient in my points. So I guess that is it. So that is all my thoughts. Yeah, so if you're a Hawks fan, be excited because there might be something out there for you next year. But I mean, yeah, like Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, all three good players. So if Trae Young can rise to the occasion and be the star in that team, they could be something. They still have a Kongwu. They got Alexander Walker in there, and it's like, okay, could this be something? They still have Ricochet, obviously. It's an interesting team. So I just want to state, Hawks could be good next year. Just keep an eye out. But yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, next time you see me, we'll be talking about Superman, and I am just over the moon. And I got Happy Gilmore 2 coming out later this month. So Fantastic Four, Happy Gilmore 2. I still got to see Jurassic World. Probably go see I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then we get the Naked Gun reboot. And I think that's it. I think that's all my summer movies. I don't think there's really anything else in August that's intriguing to me. I'm basically not going to see anything for August and September. And then Running Man in October, which will be fun. So, okay. That is it from me. I will see you all in the next one. This has been a long one, so if you stayed till the end, I appreciate it. If you just skipped ahead to the NBA part, you're probably very underwhelmed. You're like, how the hell was the F1 review 45 minutes long, and the NBA is like 6 minutes? It's like, yeah. Sorry about that. I had a lot of thoughts on F1. Not as much for the NBA offseason, but I guess we should say, for what it's worth, if LeBron was going to leave, I can't believe I'm doing this, but if LeBron was going to leave the Lakers, where should he go, right? I think really the only team that has the assets and the will to get him would be the Cavs. I think it'd be funny if he could end up on the Mavericks, but I don't really see a path for that. So the Cavs are like the one team that it makes sense for, and it's like, what's the move? Is it like DeAndre Hunter and like, is it DeAndre Hunter and Jared Allen? Because, like, you're not giving up Darius Garland. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that works money-wise. I don't think the Cavs have the money to do it. That's the thing, is he shot himself in the foot by taking that option with the $50 million. Like, if he wanted to be on a good team, he probably would have had to take a pay cut and go somewhere else. But maybe there just wasn't much of a market for him. I don't know. It's interesting. We're in a weird spot with that. So, okay, that is it from me. I think I've said that 3 times now. So we'll just end it here. And like I said, next time I see you all, I will have seen Superman. I will have looked up and saw it. So that's, it's exciting stuff. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.